Good morning, Reborn family, and welcome to the nursery. So this morning I'm going to change Sam. Close the box. I have a bin over here. If you've been watching my Reborn Cradle. Sorry, Brenda. If you've been watching her at all this last weekend or so, it's 3 days, I think. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She's been working on her room because she has a nursery now and she's so happy about it. But she's got all these bins full of clothes and different things. Well, as you know, I've moved into a different room and I also have a lot of bins. Big bins that look like tables. So she's giving me ideas. So anyway, I just found another bin today. And I'm thrilled, or yes, not today. I think it was the day before yesterday. It was Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Anyway, yeah. So I'm happy I found it. And I found some of Sam's clothes that fit him because he's a big boy. And most of the clothes that I have for him, or that I have, are for like newborns. Eli's a little bit bigger. He's like 0 to 3 months, but Sam, he's just a big boy. So someone suggested, I can't remember who now, because I was gonna give you a shout out. Dang it. I'll try to remember. I really have had brain surgery. That was not a joke. I have a shirt that says, I had brain surgery. What's your excuse? You gotta laugh about it. Like, cause, yeah. Anyway, so I forget. And I know other people forget too. So it can't all just be the brain surgery. But anyway, someone suggested that I tell more of my stories. And kind of, oh, it was Susie Q. It was Gail. And that I kind of turn it into a tag. So I'm going to tell a couple of stories. You've heard my mud pie story from Bella. So I won't retell that one. I don't know if you've heard the being chased by a bull one. So anyway, where I lived in Missouri was very way out in the country. Way out in the country. And after church, we would go to my friend's house, and they had a lot of land. And we would just go tromping through the forest, you know, without a care in the world. Things that we could do back in the 80s. I guess it was probably in the 80s when this happened. We used to do it. We used to do it a little bit when we were younger, but not as much as when we got older. Anyway, his grandpa had land, kind of, well, it was all his grandpa's land at the time. Anyway, his house was right there by their house, and they had a bull. They had cows, but they had a bull in the pasture. Well, the way we would go, we would go around. This was big. It was huge. We would go around and then up this hill, and on top of this hill there was this big tree, and I know I've told this story because I remember somebody saying something about vines. But oh no, maybe I just told my friend Marita. Anyway, so they had these vines on these trees, and they were big vines. They were thick vines, that kind of like George of the Jungle kind of vines, or yeah, George of the Jungle. Tarzan was what I was trying to think of, but George of the Jungle works too. I know these don't exactly match. I have hair. I'm rooting at the moment. Well, not at the moment, but I'm rooting. Yes, I know. I think I have ADD. I cannot stay on topic for nothing. So the vines, anyway. Underneath this tree was the pasture where the bull was. The cows too, but the cows aren't gonna mess with you too much. So he would swing off the vine, jump into the pasture, let the bull chase us, and try to get underneath the fence before he got to us. Well, I was a kid. I didn't know what would happen if he got to us. I mean, it never even crossed my mind. Never crossed my mind. He's dressed, by the way. I'm still going to talk. I love this guy. So, yeah, we would do that a lot. A lot. I was at their house almost every weekend, except if we were at my grandma's, because we went to my grandma's almost every other weekend. So I guess I was there almost every other weekend. Except during school, we didn't always do that. But anyway, I digress. We did a lot of crazy things back then. I know there were snakes in the woods. We always got eat up by the seed ticks. I don't know if you know what seed ticks are, but they're teeny tiny. You can barely see them. They look like a speck. So we would always have to, like, our moms would have to, like, inspect us to make sure that we didn't have seed ticks anywhere, or de-tick us. Which now would probably freak me out if, like, Luke went out and got a bunch of seed ticks on him or something. But anyway, back then it didn't bother me at all. I was not my dad wanted me to be a girly girl, but I was definitely not a girly girl. I know I've told you about the river, the current river, going down there and swimming. And Red Bluff, I think I've put a video up, maybe? I know I've had. There's a video of when I was a little girl, way down below, somewhere in the videos. I don't know what to call it, the list, of Red Bluff. And when I was in Missouri, I got to go to Red Bluff several times. Not after Christmas. After Christmas, things just were bad or not Christmas, but not after I went back in January. I came here in November and December, around Christmas time, and my shirt is all wrinkled. Sorry. I didn't realize it till just now. But yeah, I didn't get to go back this summer. I didn't get to go one time. Nope, not one time. Sad. Because it's like my favorite place on earth. Red Bluff. I could live there. It's just, it's so beautiful. And they call it Red Bluff because they have these tall bluffs. And it's like sandstone kind of. It's the bluff is red. And then on top of the bluff, I'll have to find a picture and try to put it at the end. On top of the bluff, there are these big rocks, and a lot of them look like faces. They look like faces. They look like somebody's carved faces in them. They haven't, I don't think. But, you know, it's just the way they look, and it's really cool. And it's very peaceful, and you can listen to the water unless there's a bunch of people down there, which a lot of times there are. COVID kind of made Red Bluff the hot spot. Well, the current river in Red Bluff, and there were a bunch of places down there where I lived for a bit. And anyway, it's just a great place to camp, and I don't know. I'm a country girl. My dad would buy me dress clothes, and try to make me, I don't know, girly, which I understand. I'm a girl. I should be girly, I guess, in his eyes. I should have been girly. But I would have rather had overalls and pocket knife and go out in the woods and find caves, which we did. There was a cave out there where they lived, and we would go, and it was a tiny cave. This one, I'm sure there were bigger ones, but the one that we got to was just a tiny cave. We would go inside of it, investigate. We were a lot alike. Like, we loved imagination. He was an avid reader. I read, but I was not an avid reader until I got older. But I would read at his house because he did. And he was like my brother. There was never ever anything between us, but I called him, my other brother. What was that show? The Newhart show where I'm Daryl, and this is my brother Larry, my other brother Larry, or the other way around. Anyway, yeah, I would call him that. And because he had a brother, and I would call him one Larry and the other Larry, or Daryl. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I had brain surgery. Now that y'all know, I'm just going to use it because that's what I do at home. But yeah, had a lot of fun out there in the woods, and I have so many stories. I could tell you about my grandma's house and sitting on the cabinet, and she would make dough of any kind. She had this sink that had a counter, and it was not like, it was a metal kind of counter. I can't remember what the metal was called, but it was painted white, and I would sit up there, and then she had this cabinet that had like a flour box in it, and then she would just pull the bottom of it, and it would put flour into her measuring cup, sifter, whatever, and then she would sift the flour and make dough, pie dough, biscuit dough, whatever. And I'd always get to eat the dough, and oh my gosh, I loved eating that dough. It was the best thing in the world. It was probably not good for me, but nothing ever happened, like, we're afraid of too many things now, and geez, I ate mud pie with dog poo in it. Come on. What the heck? I don't know. Maybe that's what's wrong with me now. Oh, my son, if he's going to hear me, he's probably in there going, yeah, that's probably what's wrong with you, Mom. They were teasing me. I'm very clumsy. I've always been very clumsy. Probably said this the other day, but my dad used to call me Grace Ann because I'm clumsy. If I didn't say it on here, I told Joanne. But it was just kind of a jab, like Grace Ann, because I was not graceful at all. But yeah, maybe that was why he was trying to make me girly and learn to walk properly and everything, because I was so ungraceful. But I had problems with my feet from birth. Literally, my feet were like fists. So anyway, so I am asking you to do a video. You can do a dressing video, a changing video, whatever. Not you dressing. We don't want to see that. A changing video, or just hold your baby video and tell some stories of your childhood. I'll try to think of some other ones, because I've got tons. I have tons. I could write it down, and then, because I've told my daughter that I want to write a book. I have a book in my head. So many things have happened to me, and interesting things. Anyway, if you want to hear more stories, just let me know, and I'd love to hear one of yours, or 2 or 3 or 4. I was just going to tell one, but I ended up telling, I don't know how many. I'm at 14 minutes now. So I guess as always, lots of love and big hugs. See my baby? And his little sockies, they kind of match. I mean, they're blue. They're not the right blue, but... Oh, and it's Disney Monday, so he has his Mickey on. That was the other thing. Right? He always falls asleep on me. I hope you all have a great day. Love you. Bye. Hi again. I know I just ended, but I want to ask for prayer for Vicky, the Empty Nest Reborn Nursery, or Reborn Doll Nursery. You know what I mean. Her family's going through a lot right now, some really bad stuff, and they need prayer. So please, please keep Vicky and her family in your prayer. I appreciate it, and I know she would too. Thanks. Send good thoughts, vibes, whatever you do. Okay. Thank you. Bye.